The glorious GMMK2 keyboard. I've had this keyboard since April of 2022, so about close to 5 months now. I've had it in this exact same configuration, white, fully assembled, compact 65% version. Now, the purpose of this video is I kind of want to talk about my personal feelings and opinions of this keyboard after using it for the last 4 months. And I kind of want to compare this to the original GMMK, which I'm just going to call it GMMK1 for the remainder of the video, and just to see some of the differences between the two boards and if the $120 price point for this board is a great value or not to me on a personal level. So let's take a look. The fully assembled glorious GMMK2 keyboard. Straight out of the box, it is ready to go. Got a nice RGB. This is in the default RGB mode, which if they call it in the software the glorious mode. This is the way it comes. I have not modded this keyboard at all, besides switching out switches and keycaps. But I have not opened this, and I have not done any. I have not swapped out the stabs. These are what came in the factory. The reason why I haven't done it is because I thought for me, they're pretty good. Are they perfect? No, but as we know in a custom keyboard game, it's all about, personal preference, and there's rarely anything that is I would call perfect. But anyway, I don't want to get off subject here. This is an aluminum plate that's on here. You can kind of see. There is, like I said, I've never taken this apart, and I don't plan on doing it. This is like there's a foam padding right there. Okay. So that is nice. They give you that. On the back, you got the big, glorious logo here. Pretty solid case here. Rubber feet, so it doesn't slip off your table. Or your mat for that matter. One level of riser, extra riser if you need it. It's already kind of elevated. And these are caps lock indicator lights, similar to GMMK Pro if you're familiar with that. If you're not, basically it will flash at you when your caps lock is on. So I do think the board itself, Gloria did a really nice job. I do think they do listen to the communities from their previous board, and they added some features that was very well. It's very highly sought after, such as the 5-pin PCB. Now we have, okay, stabs. These are plate-mounted stabs. Show you. You can tell these are plate-mounted. However, these have the option, if you want to take this board apart and put your own stabs in, which I have not done. You can see the screw holes there, or screw mounted stabs. Pretty nice. Nice options. This is the way it comes. The lubing, it comes factory lube. For me personally, I have not done anything to them because I think they're good enough. Still got north-facing RGBs, just like the previous GMMK. Gotta remember, this Glorious is more this design. Their product is more geared towards gaming. I mean, if you look at their mouse, this is the Moto O wireless. Clearly tell this has a gaming aesthetic to it. It's not designed for productivity. So I'm assuming, in the gaming space, gamers like to have the RGB north facing so it shines through their keycaps. This is the original GMMK, 60%, no arrow keys here. And these came with plate mounted stabs and only came with 3-pin for the switches. North facing RGB. I actually replaced these stabs with Durox V2 stabs because the ones that came stock was not great, in my opinion. I didn't care for them, so I bought some Durox and replaced them, and they've actually worked out a lot better than the factory steps. But the build itself, compared to the GMMK2, is very similar. I believe this is also still aluminum plate. Um, there's no padding though. You can kind of see that this is hollow. There's really nothing in there. Um, Later when we do the sound test, you'll be able to see if you can hear any difference. Same pop-off feet, and then has a little built-in keycap puller holder here. Nice little neat touch. And it doesn't have the big Glorious logo, just a sticker and the rubber padding here. So very similar in the build. I personally think that the build on this is pretty good as well on the first GMMK. As far as software goes for the GMMK2 keyboard, Glorious provides the Glorious Core software, which allows you to change the RGB settings. Now, it's kind of cool. They show you a preview of what the RGB will look like. Let's say if I go from Glorious mode, which is the default mode, let's say I switch to spiraling web, put the RGB on, lower the rates down, lower the brightness down. You can see right away the preview screen gives you kind of preview what it would look like, but it will not implement on your keyboard until you hit save. Here, there's also a way to change the keybind to whatever you like. And there, I kind of wish Glorious can implement a way to do it in the Glorious Core software to change the default for FN setting. Because, for example, if you hit FMB right now, that's for mute. I cannot change that function to other keys. That's kind of a bummer. In the performance tab, you have your polling rate and your input latency. For the GMMK1, this is the software that Glorious provide for you to use. Honestly, I don't even know what this software is called. But as you can tell, this is your RGB editing mode. You can change the polling rate down here. If you want to go into key binding, if you want to change your key binding, you will have to disable the LED light editing mode. Then you can go ahead and change your keybind. And same with the Glorious Core, you cannot change the defaulted FN layer, which you can kind of see is labeled there. In conclusion, do I think the GMMK2 is a great keyboard for the money? Yes. $120 for the fully assembled version, $80 for the bare bones kit, 3 different color options, 2 different sizes to choose from. To me, this keyboard is a no-brainer if you're looking for a custom mechanical keyboard. Say you have a budget of $150. You can. I think both options would be great. Glorious has been somewhat controversial as a computer peripheral company. But one thing about Glorious I must say, they have the availability, which to me as a consumer, that is the number one most important thing. If I want to buy a peripheral or any product for that matter, I don't want to wait for 4 months, 6 months, a year sometimes to be on a group buy or just to wait, or I just don't want to do that. When I order a product, I want it as soon as I can get it. Okay, if I can go into the store and buy it, that's even better. Then that's one thing about Glorious that I really like is they have the availability. Product quality wise, I have personally, I own the Model D minus wireless. I own the Model O wireless, and I also own the GMMK Pro along with the GMMK1 and GMMK2 that was featured in this video. And I really have no issues with any of their products as far as I know. Some of the stuff that interests me is their Model I mouse, but I'm waiting for the wireless version to come out. I bought some accessories, some keyboard accessories from them, like knobs, and I bought a cable. I also have the Glorious Panda switches. I have the Glorious Link switches, and I really like their products, and I think their prices are very reasonable, and they do offer free shippings on orders of $100 or more. Regardless of what you think about Glorious as a company, they are a player in the computer peripheral business. Now, I think what they're missing in their lineup are headsets. So who knows? Maybe they're working on that as we speak. Thank you all for watching this video. If you truly like this video, please hit that like button for me and have a good rest of your day.